Don't mind me for a while. I'm just waiting to see if Facebook live stream is going to connect. If it doesn't, you can watch me on Picarto, Twitch, YouTube, and Periscope. These are all working. But I at least put the mirror links on Facebook. So there's that. I don't know why Facebook isn't working again this Sunday. Gotta wait a little bit. At least until 7, and then we'll go right ahead. Oh, I got somebody watching me on Twitch. Nice. So we'll go, in a couple of minutes, we'll go right ahead with the start of the art. Oh, this isn't bad at all. I'll wait until I'm officially on, and then I'll start talking about the snob water I'm drinking tonight. And how come I have snob water now. I'm starting to wonder if Facebook changed their coding again. That stops me from using Restream. Because it's doing the same thing as last time. I got 2 minutes. We're gonna start soon. Don't worry about that. So here's what's happening right now. I am testing a new tool under the Restream chat about commands. So I have one command that's timed to repeat every 10 minutes. And this is one that I just posted. That says, "Hi everybody, welcome to the live stream." Fa-la-la-la-la. So like that, I can have some keywords without having to completely come to a complete stop every 3 seconds. So everybody that wanted to see the stream, that are usually on Facebook, you have your mirrors, you have your choices, and I did my best. Now before I start, Welcome to the stream has what little texty thingy was saying. I am currently drinking some jasmine tea, even if on the little cardboard it said Ceylon, because it was in the jasmine box, so I'm taking it at face value, seeing as it tastes different from the actual Ceylon tea that came from the Ceylon box. Could be Ceylon, could be Ceylon, I don't care. I have tea. And it's not bad at all. Now the reason I actually have tea now, when I kept saying that I didn't have any, I had run out of good tea, is because we recently went through my recently late grandmother's stuff that were in the wood room, and turns out she got a lot of tea. She didn't have time to drink it all, so I inherited her tea. Speaking of grandmothers, we are going to be drawing the first part of a two-part series, as you can see here, called Going Halfsies, which is about my other grandmother, my mom's mom. And it was a story that I always liked, and I figured since this is my birthday month, I was born on the 26th, might as well draw one of my favorite stories. I'm sorry I'm constantly clicking in and out. I'm checking my script, then I'm checking the screens, see everything rolling right. Ugh. Alright, now I'm starting for real. I think script again. Alright. I hope the music is running well for you guys, because on Picarto it seemed to be having some issues, but on Twitch it was nice and smooth. Yeah, it's been 10 minutes, so that message should pop up constantly. I'm sorry for the repeats though, because I put it on the main restream chat, so it's probably gonna rewrite itself on some of my platforms from what I saw. Now what I'm going to draw about Mammy's look is an approximation based solely on the one picture of her as a young adult that I've seen. So it might not be too historically accurate, because I'm not sure how old she was. I'm gonna try to stick to some kind of fashion that was going on. I'm assuming it was late 40s, early 50s in this case. You know, something around that. I'm gonna give her some Lucy here. Character I'm drawing right now is my great grandmother Victoria. Now once again I'm kind of gonna go on a limb here based on what she looked like in 1994, as I don't think we have any pictures of her actually looking young. I do know Mammy was not a big fan of her. I'm gonna draw her kind of like Miss Grundy with Miss Hagley's hair, something like that. could have had longer hair at the time. I don't know. I do know she was not very nice to my grandma, sadly. And I don't remember the name of the guy. There's not much I remember. It's kind of hard to remember stuff when the one who told you the story has been dead for like 10 years. So I apologize about that. So we're just gonna wing most of it. I don't think Mammy even remembered because once Pappy showed up, like, everybody else didn't count. I don't know how Great Grandma knew about that, but she did. Mammy was not one to marry for money. Decided to call the guy Randall because I got Stephen King on the brain right now, and I was thinking about Randall Flags, so his name is Randall. Gotta have a little bit of snob water. I think I'm gonna give him that slick side comb over thingy going on. I have exactly 0 fashion reference. Like, I have a good idea of what Mammy could have looked like at the time. A little less for Pappy because he had a lot of clothes on at his wedding. Oops. Don't mind me. Forgot to switch my erasers since the project I worked earlier. Probably thought he was being slick. Well, at least the time messages is working well. I mean, his behavior in the current comic would pass if they had been dating for a while and they had discussed previously that we're going to do that, but it's the kind of stuff you don't do on your first date. Like, he had been coming to her house. That's how her mom knew. He always had $100 in his wallet, but he was always coming over to the house to court Grandma and Mammy, and Mammy was like, nope. Until she finally gave in, but not because of him, but because of her mom being a fart about it. This is really good. Not my favorite, but it's really, really good. Yeah, this is funnier. And assuming he's still alive today, but I doubt it, he's probably still wondering what he did wrong. Like right here, imagine a kettle over boiling. If you are curious if I know about my grandparents' first meeting, I do. There's just not much to say about this. I'm not even sure how Pappy won her over, considering his pickup line was bicycling right next to her as she was walking and asking her if she was going his way. And she must have, because they had been married for about roughly 43 years by the time Pappy died. Fun fact while I'm drawing this part, Mammy never got her ears pierced right up until my mom's wedding. I don't know how she was about makeup when she was young, but I know that she didn't have pierced ears. Just gonna check something real quick. That's interesting. Apparently, I'm getting some messages on Picarto, and they did not show up. If anything, nothing there. I can see the timestamp here, and they just didn't show up, and I don't know why. Oh, I have a video connection to Picarto, but the messages are not getting through. So that's another thing I need to check. Well. Well, might as well answer the question while we're here, because I'm assuming you can at least hear me. And this is about a date Mammy had with a guy that was supposedly rich because he always had $100 in his pocket. And Mammy only accepted to date him because her mom was being a pain in the ass about it. And then all the regrets. So yeah, I'm keeping my my test channel on Patreon so I can read your comments, because it's not working on Restream right now. Just gonna give her some tiny boobs because at the time Grandma was shaped like my Aunt Lisa, and Aunt Lisa is tiny. Breathe closer, maybe it will help with your sinuses. Probably gonna have to reprogram a couple things because I just had to re-download a new version of the Restream chat. From the looks of things, Twitch is working, YouTube's working. There's nothing about Periscope, but I'm thinking Periscope is read-only, so that's probably why. But Picarto Restream chat is down. So I'm gonna see if I can do anything about it this week. Try and actually find some information, because when I looked for information with last week's Facebook not working, I didn't find fuck all. And if anybody complains, well, I think of the children, you realize what time it is? Your kid should be in bed. If my language is too harsh for your kid should be in bed. There's school tomorrow. Oh, I noticed somebody earlier said there it is. They of the past said RIP, rest in peace. I'm not sure if they are talking about my dead grandparent or this guy's chances with my mammy. Because those are definitely RIP. But then again, spoiler alert, we know he's not my grandpa, so... You know the saying, if you keep doing that face, it'll stay that way? Pretty sure that date is the reason my grandma always had that face. Whoa. There we go. A little derpy eye thing going on there. Like, it's very well known. That's... Yeah, it's... I tried to do a very stylized, like, Lucy's hair thing going on. Because I have no idea how she used to style her hair, and the only, like, very old picture of her that we have access to is of her wedding, and she's got a little hat, and she's got that part thing going on there. But that's all we know. So I just went for like some random end of the 40s, start of the 50s kind of thing. You know what? Just for fun, I'm gonna put some archy lines there. There. Mammy should be around 14, 15, if I'm not mistaken. Because I know she was married at around 18, 19 to Pappy. Against her mom's wishes. Because Pappy was not rich. May not have been rich, but he was still like a pretty cool dude at the time because he was in the Air Force. But if he's not rich right now, he's no good son of a bitch, apparently. Spoiler alert, he was not a son of a bitch. I'm only drawing popcorn just so we can have a big prop, because if I remember well, what the guy had actually bought was like a tiny box of candy. I'm trying to make the bag look like a kid's meal size. Go to hell, Davis. This is a story from like the 40s. You can't rush perfection. Well, at least my time stuff works, right? Apparently that's all you're going to see during the chat. Me plugging myself automatically. Like, you guys who know me always know how it's not a good idea to get me angry, and how it's not a... Yeah, no go with Facebook again. And for some reason, the chat part of Picarto doesn't work either, so I don't know what's going on. As I was saying, it's not a good idea to piss me off. It's not a good idea, even worse, to piss Mom off. I present to you the original Don't Piss This Woman Off. The OG Do Not Piss Off. And this guy, as you can see, is doing a great job of doing that. But it's like I said, for those who weren't there, it's like I said at the beginning of the chat, I don't say if it's like something you guys discussed earlier and it's not your first date. Like, I don't have a lot of money tonight, honey. Is it okay if we split the check? But this was their first date. This was his chance to impress her, and he blew it. Like, spectacularly. Oops. Wrong layer. Yes, I agree. Cheapskates are worse than broke ass. Like, there's cheap and then there's this guy. It's even more insulting knowing he had $100 in his wallet. And think this is part 1. There's a part 2 coming next week. That means she had a comeback. That's another thing. It was easy to get Mammy upset, but she was great at comebacks. As you guys saw in church shaming. Shaming. Yes, indeed, the original Snark Master. I'm not as good as her though, because she made a spectacle out of it. People knew when she clapped back. I tend to keep mine on the internet because I don't go out at all, and most of the time when I'm out is because I'm at a retail job and I'm not allowed to use the snark. But Mammy didn't matter where she was. If you needed to be put in your place, she was there. And she was ready. Coco is saying, well, I think you had to divide skill points between Art and Snark. She didn't. She could sing. I don't know if she used to draw, but she could fucking sing. And she would write her own songs. One time for the 100th anniversary of my hometown, not the one you know, the other one. There was this contest to write a song for the 100th year of that town. The only reason she didn't win is because she wasn't the wife of the main organizer. That's really why. That's the real reason. She wasn't married to the organizer because it's the organizer's wife that won, and apparently it wasn't even that good of a song. I don't know if Mammy could play musical instruments, but I do know she could sing. No, that's Coco is asking, was that the town you had to go across the road to find a spouse? No, actually, that's the town you guys know. Is because I was actually staying originally much closer to Percy Rock until I moved to my current hometown at around age 5, I think. But it's like 45 minutes drive, so it's not like I have to take a special trip like when I need to go to Walmart. before Dad bought the hovel. The hovel is in the town with the cross the street to find a spouse thing. Because at first I lived with my mammy and pappy, and so did Mom. Because as we know, Dad is actually stepdad, but he's more of a dad than the other guy, Orange Dude. Fun fact, I'm huge, but usually when, on the rare occasions I go to the cinema, I usually get the kids meal, because I have a small storage capacity. I'm full of fat, so there's no room for a lot of food. So yeah, the story of my grandparents meeting, not so fun, not so funny, but the story of their first breakup is hilarious, and I'm going to draw it eventually. Didn't even notice the chairs were slowly going up. I'm not that fond of licorice myself. I usually stick to a popcorn and a soda. Like, for example, I thought I was going to get more hungry than that when I went to see Endgame, because it's 3 hours long. So I asked for a medium popcorn and a medium soda. Came out of there, soda was 3/4 full. Same goes for the popcorn, Because after a while I just stopped eating and I was watching the movie. And I'm back. I had to stop talking temporarily because Dad was downstairs and needed something, and if I would have talked, he would have asked me what I was talking to him about. And we already have enough technical difficulties for now. You know what's sad? Mammy was considered the black sheep of the family. Her mom kept telling her she was a failure at this and that, and well, she was right in a sense. Mammy failed to be jobless, she failed at getting tattoos, she failed at ending up in prison. A lot of things Mammy failed. And considering Mammy had a lot of siblings, and they all did one of those, not that there's anything wrong with tattoos, there is something wrong with going to jail, but anyway. The only thing that Mammy really failed at was listening to her mom's terrible, 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 terrible advice. So at least there's that working for her. I'm gonna save that. Coco says black sheep are prettier and don't show dirt. Well, that's right. Alright, time for color, quote unquote. People are probably wondering why I draw Mammy and Pappy so dark. I am how should I say that in English? Métis. I have some Native American in me, and my grandparents are it. But the thing is, I actually get my extremely white skin not just from Orange Guy, but from Pappy. Because I don't know if you guys remember, it was in some of the first strips. Pappy kind of had, oops, Ignore the timer. It just means I have to go. I have to go fish in Animal Crossing. Yeah, Mammy is looking gray because I am coloring this in sepia tones. So the entire thing is going to be different shades of gray. So as I was saying, Peppy looked really red. That's just the way he tanned. Because if in the first couple of strips you look close to his shirt, you will see some kind of white triangle thing going on. That was his actual skin tone. Yeah, Peppy had the king of farmers tan. Mammy was just naturally darker. As far as skin tones go, I think Mom and Aunt Moon earned Pappy's skin tone, and Aunt Lisa got Mammy's much darker skin tone. And well, we all know what color I am. Fun fact, Peppy had a farmer tan, never farmed. Even when they did have a bit of a farm at their property in my hometown, it was Mammy that took care of it. Not saying that Pappy didn't do anything. He was more the heavy lifter thingy going on, like cutting the grass, stuff like that. Working on the house. Peppy was not lazy. And Coco says I am neon white. This is true. Coco says I'm the German-Irish pit calling the kettle neon. Pot, maybe? German-Irish pot calling the kettle neon white. I'm taking a really wild guess here because I do remember her. Wow. Having kind of darkish hair last time I saw her. Of course, it was like very, 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 very gray. But still, she had dark hair through the gray. I don't know for you guys, but I'm really enjoying drawing this. Almost done. What time is it? Oh, past 8. Just gonna check something real quick. It looks good here. Because sometimes I like to check the colors with my other monitor. Or I could have done it the lazy way and put normal colors and then an sepia overlay. But then at the same time, sometimes the colors are so similar. As soon as you put the sepia overlay, everything turns the same tone. Sorry. Almost done. For all I know, this is Canadian, French Canadian. The guy could have been called like Raymond or something, I don't know. Long story short, you don't mess with my mammy. I'm so looking forward to next week when we get to the part where she says what she's going to say. We did previously establish that I am evil. Made it clear from the get-go. Almost done. Just gotta finish the text up here and then, for once in my life, try to make sure I didn't make any mistakes, because there's a couple mistakes that slipped into some of them lately because I was in a hurry. And seriously, apparently that was the only argument for this guy. He had $100 in his pocket. That's all that was important. Priorities. There's a spot. Oh, there's 2 spots. If anybody wonders what Pappy used to look like as a kid at around her age, just imagine what you've already seen in the first couple of episodes of Bootleg Cookie and take off the wrinkles. Because Pappy had white hair since he was 15. And not just like white hairs. No, 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 no. I'm talking the entire head. I'm giggling, but the reason was he was very attached to his mother and she passed away when he was young, which gave him such a shock that his hair turned white overnight. Pappy was very strongly a mama's boy. And then he was a Sharon's boy because I was how can I say it without the other 2 knowing about this? He was very attached to me. I don't want to say the other word. It's a good word, but I don't want to say it. Not while I'm being recorded. And there we go. I am done. We're good for now. I'm gonna put it here. And I should have programmed an end message, but that's okay because it's not working on Picarto anyway. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next week, and hopefully I will have fixed all the new problems that showed up. I hope you had fun. I had fun. See you next week.